When do you feel closest to me?
Always.
Even when I'm a diddy?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, when you are slightly upset, that's when I need to be closer. That's when I need to find ways to be closer to you, to try and make sure that that storm that's inside of you is settled. Because when that's happening, I'm unsettled. I know that look when there's a storm brewing. I know that the language when it's storms brewing and brewing. So, and even us kids know, and we tag team around, make sure
Mama Bear's okay.
We look after Mama Bear. Yeah.
Good boy.
When was the moment you knew I loved you?
When was the moment I knew you loved me? When I told you I loved you, and although there was no admission verbally, I could feel that aroha was there. And I knew that it was more than an attraction, and it was more than just chemistry, that the love that we had for one another was built on trust. And I trusted you implicitly to enter into a loving relationship, and one where I knew I was going to be taken care of and cherished and looked after. How do you describe me to others?
I think you're a soldier. I think you've fought a battle beyond what any lady would fight. So how do I describe you? I think, well, you're confident, beautiful, at times fragile, loving, leader, but definitely my best friend. You right? Do you want to add to that?
I'm surprised that you mentioned confident as the first attribute, given the past and the journey that we've been on. As a result of that past, confidence was something that became quite suppressed. And even though I may have given the impression of being confident, inside it was everything but. But I'm glad that's something that you've noticed that's obviously developed and grown. Because there are certain areas that I do feel confident in, and more so having had you by my side. And with our tamariki, our children, that I've gained the confidence to walk in our Maori world where I've always wanted to be. So through that I just want to acknowledge and thank you for enabling that confidence to grow.
Oh no, I think that's, I'm not saying, no you don't do that. What I'm saying is that that's the thing about this whole process of us in our relationship, it's two ways, definitely. Oh my. What is one experience you wish we never had?
We've touched on it. And And while there's been learning that's come out of that, from that experience last year, were you at your lowest ebb? It was knowing that I could have lost you. And I've always seen you as the backbone of our family. And from you, we all draw strength. But within that, as difficult as it was, I took on board what you always said to me, is in those times we will get through it, and I just needed to believe. And while there were times where I questioned my belief, I had to hold fast to that. Good boy.
Yeah.
Who has more power in our relationship?
It's a no-brainer.
Oh boy.
Nah, I'm going to be honest with that, it's shifting. Power shifts when it needs to shift. Sometimes, I remember lowest ebb wasn't this power, wasn't with you. It was when our baby put her hand, yeah. 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 I remember you saying, "It's going to be right, Papa."
And she was right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, the power shifts. And I'll never forget it. This 4-year-old was my teacher. I'll never forget this 4-year-old was my guiding light. You were too. But the question talked about power. And she had this innocent view on the world from a 4-year-old. Just to put her hand on her papa's. She said, "It's okay, Papa. It's going to be okay."
No.
When are you most concerned for me and why?
Oh, that's easy.
Awesome.
I'm most concerned for you when you give selflessly to others, without doubt, without question. When people ask of your service, of your support, it's not in your DNA and it's not in your nature by any means to turn anybody away and say no. It's not a matter of saying no, it may be not yet. E pātai anō? Ka hao?
Actually, I want to...
Whakaroaroa te kōrero nei?
No. I want to use this card for you.
Oh, okay. Ooh, eh?
when am I most concerned for you, and why? Is that how I mentioned about your confidence and stuff like that. Sometimes I think, while I'm concerned that you let opportunity go, it concerns me that you have all the skill and you would rather push your husband out the front, when sometimes you should be bringing your husband with you because you're in the front. I just think that the world's ready for you. It always has been.
Why do you love me? Such meaningful, beautiful questions.
Yeah. Like I said before, we were meant to be. It's actually more than you and I. If you know what I mean. I suppose you don't.
Well, I think I do, but whakamara mai.
It is us, and I love you for that. And part of this is that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When I went through our genealogy and saw how you came off Tumango, and I come off Tumango, that tupuna, you came off the second marriage, and I come off the first marriage. So our baby comes off both marriages. You know, that's just like, whoa. It's just like, it's meant to be. Yesterday determined us today. And I mean, our genealogy determined that.
Yeah. Do you want to know why I love you?
Of course.
Because you protect and you keep me safe. And you love me back as much as I love you.
Yeah.
Where?
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 Ko ia ko te kupu. Ka uru taku aroha kia koe nā. Ka uru tō aroha kia au nei. Ko tō manawa, ko tōku manawa, ka tupu. Ka ora. Tia mara.
Kia ora. Mari ora. Poi.
Hi, thank you so much for sticking with us. If you want to stay connected to what we do, you should sign up to our newsletter at theskindeep.com/subscribe. Thank you very much.